Hello, hello! Dale says, killer job on the remix, thank you. What's up, you assholes? Someone's new here. Welcome, new person. Alright. I always be playing Mario. I'm a Mario shill. Let's go. Except when I'm playing Smash. I hate playing as Mario on Smash. It's just the worst. Alright, so this is a Mario game that I have not played, so I'm excited to play it for the first time with you all. Alright. The Smash video, I took it down after it uploaded, because there were so many technical difficulties. We'll do another one, and hopefully it won't be as messed up. And we'll keep that one up. What is this at the top? Play new Super Luigi U? Are there 2 games in this? Okay, so I guess I got 2 games. That's cool. Let's play the normal one first. One person's playing, just me. I could choose a character? Oh. I'm uncomfortable choosing a character in a Mario game. They have the Nabbit, the rabbit thing. Easiest. He's easiest, easier, and these are just normal. Let's just do Mario. Apparently, you have like characters to make the game way too easy. Alright, we got cutscenes in this. What?
You should play with Mrs. Skeem.
That's a terrible idea. Mrs. Skeem does not play well with others. Alright, so the Koopa Troopa gang. Super Mario reminiscent. Super Mario World reminiscent there.
How do you like streaming on the Switch?
Well, I love playing the Switch, and so streaming on it is great. It's just like playing it. But then you guys get to see it, so it's nice that I have the ability. That tree's got a nutsack. Did you see that? That tree was literally balls with a dick. No cap.
I think that's pretty. Not the tree dick, but...
The game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good looking game. Nintendo's always good with their art. They know how to make it that years from now this game will still look good. While everyone else is bitching at Nintendo for having bad graphics. I'm like, bro, in 10 years, all your games will look like shit. Nintendo games will still look fire. So who had bad graphics? Really? You dumb idiots. Good night, Jim. Shut up, Iggy. I think that's Iggy. Just giggling away. So they've got little boats that fly like on Super Mario 3, but they're the baddies more from Super Mario World. And yeah, that's Super Mario 3 stuff. So we got a hybrid. Oh, there's the Dick Tree again. See, it's got his 2 balls. Dick Tree, for sure.
I feel like there's been a lot of dick talk tonight.
Well, dicks are getting brought up. Ha! Dicks brought up. Oh, there's the Dick Tree in all of its glory, right in the background. Majesty of the Dick Tree. Hello, Dick Tree. You make me uncomfortable. And a flying squirrel. All right. Okay. And I'm a flying squirrel now. Cool. Now, I remember this music from, what was it? The new Super Mario Brothers Wii? I think was the one I played that had this sort of soundtrack that I was never really sold on. This whole like bow bow thing, like I've never been in love with this soundtrack compared to pretty much all other Mario games before it. Like Mario 3, Mario World, the original Mario, hell, even Mario 2 had some cool jams. This, yeah, never been my thing.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
I played Mario Maker 2 last night. Yeah, the soundtrack on these new Super Mario games, that series has been pretty not great for the most part. Do I want this fire flower? I'll try it out. Let's see. Oh, I just missed a secret thingy, I think. I'll read that later. Mrs. Skeem be texting.
I'm gonna read it now. I send it to you read later.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. It's a cool looking little level. Little crushy crushers. Somebody new sort of likes me. Yay, new subscriber, welcome! Thank you for subbing to the channel. So far this game is nice and Mario-y. I do like some of the mechanics that the new Super Mario World, new Super Mario Brothers, I should say, introduce. Like some of the wall jumps and extra flips. It allowed them to make more complicated gameplay, but sometimes they do old level design and then it's just too easy. But I remember it was the new Super Mario Brothers Wii, like Part 2, I think it was. That game was hard, and I loved it. Like, that was a challenging game with these mechanics.
Gubby Boss said you should create a rap battle tier list.
Like rap battle channel? You talk about like video game rap battles, princess rap battles, Freshie Canal, the bunch of them that I haven't listened to much. Is that what you're talking about? I've never done one of those tier videos. I've watched them, but I've never made one. Oh, he took over. The chat died?
Yeah.
Oh.
What about Super Mario Maker 2?
Just played that yesterday. Wait, items? Okay, so we went Super Mario World 3 with items you could equip. I like that. Always a fan of that mechanic.
Will you react to Tom's newest song?
Tom McDonald's newest song? I don't know. It's called No Reaction, or No Response, right? I think... Is he responding but not responding to Blind Fury? Because I think Blind Fury took shots at him for some freaking reason. I just don't usually care about that stuff. And then Tom McDonald also... He'll demonetize the shit out of that video. The people on my channel stopped watching my Tom McDonald reactions, so I'm not gonna get ad revenue on it. It's not subject matter that I think I'm interested in, and no one's gonna watch it anyway. So probably not.
So Gubby Boss said either the channels or some notable vids from each channel.
Okay. I don't know. I'd probably do a tier list on something more universal first, and if people liked that, maybe I'd get to that eventually. Usually when I test new concepts, I test like one of the best case scenarios of like what would be the most desirable subject matter, and when people just don't care about that version, I usually just nix the concept on the channel.
Have you played Witcher 3?
Yeah. Not huge on the Witcher games. I don't know why. I know it's my fault. The games are clearly fantastic, just like God of War. But just like God of War, it's just not interesting to me. I can tell that it's a good game, I just don't like it.
Isn't that like a Netflix show now?
Yeah, with Superman.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill or whatever his name is. He plays The Witcher.
Yeah. He looks good.
He always looks good.
Sorry, somebody asked something. What's your opinion on Donkey Kong Country Returns?
It's way too hard. Like, I get they were trying to be like all cool with it and old school, but it was punishingly hard.
Can you play Yoshi's Crafted World?
The Yarn game? I don't have that game, and would I want to play it? Is it like Yoshi's Island? I really don't know.
Somebody said they enjoyed the depression video with Mario.
Appreciate it. You're one of the few who watched it. Ah, shit. But I'm glad whoever watched it enjoyed it.
You could do a tier list of Mario games.
Tier list of Mario games. That's actually not a bad one, except I think I'm gonna do less and less video game pre-records. People like the streams, but the pre-records that I edit aren't usually very popular. So what I'll probably do is if it's a day that like I'm like, oh crap, I don't have something to upload, well, I could do a video game related content without putting on the costume or whipping out the camera, just, you know, use the stream capture card. So those will probably come out of necessity more than planning. I like this whole gear thing. It's nice and challenging to not get crunched. It's a cool concept.
Will you react to Cuphead versus Bendy?
To what?
Cuphead versus Bendy?
Oh, that's a newer one. There's another one with Bendy that was requested. Bendy and Baldy. And someone bribed me for that. But what's been keeping me away from all of those is I don't know the characters. So I'm not gonna understand the disses.
Like the Monica one.
Yeah, like the Monica one. I know people want me to do it, but I don't know who the fuck Monica is. I know, like, Cuphead. And I think Bendy is like the Ink Devil or something. So Cuphead versus Bendy makes a lot of sense. But I don't know enough to appreciate what Cam and the crew would have done with that. That's my issue.
Ever play Gears of War?
Gears of War? Yeah. It's alright. Too much stop and go. It's another one of those games I like, but it's not for me.
I can answer this one. No, not that Skeem doesn't like Assassin's Creed, but he's never played it.
Yeah, I probably would like it.
If you jumped into the middle, you wouldn't like the first... Maybe even the first couple you wouldn't like.
No, it's by the Far Cry people, so they clearly don't have something I like.
The first one's awful because you touch water, you die, and it makes no sense.
Ah, that's always the best mechanic.
Like, you're an assassin, and you can't touch water.
And you jump off buildings.
You can jump 300 feet up. Whatever.
It's not that you can't swim, just touching it kills you.
Yeah.
It's like old Grand Theft Auto crap.
Let's see. Will you be reacting
Ooh, a Yoshi.
Tom's new song?
I already talked about that.
No, I just asked again. Are we gonna see Skeem in an ERB? Well, if you do, you'll never know.
Well, who knows? Probably not. You probably won't see me in ERB. Not anytime soon. Reason being, like, when ERB has other people, it's usually out of a need or for cameo power. Now, I don't have cameo power for ERB, and I also don't fulfill any needs that they have, because usually it'd be needs of, like, being accurate to a character's ethnicity or body shape or gender, something like that. None of those I match, because if they just need a masked character, they could do it. Like, let's say they wanted to do Spider-Man, which would be the most likely character for me to play that they would have any interest in putting in a battle, right? Because the other characters I could play would be like Ghostface or Michael Myers, I guess. But I don't see them putting them in a battle. Spider-Man's the most likely character they might feature in a battle that I would be good to play. I have the right wimpy little voice for it, smaller frame, masks, perfect. But Nice Peter could do that. So it's a lot cheaper and easier and familiar for them to do Nice Peter than have some random dude playing Spider-Man. If I could like do some sick dance moves, they would probably be like, oh, let's get this dude. Kind of like they did for the Boba Fett versus Deadpool. They got stand-ins to wear the costumes and dance. But yeah, there's no sense for them collabing with me at this point because there's no star power that I bring and there's no talent that they can't get without me that they need. So at this point, we're just friendly with one another and respect what each other do.
What's your favorite game of all time and what's your favorite console?
Game and console? I don't know. I don't do favorites. Don't ask me favorites. Favorites are dumb.
I thought you might be able to answer that.
What?
Semi. At least what your favorite console is. Like
right now, the Switch.
Yeah.
Right now, it's Switch, but of all time, I don't know.
You were a fan of GameCube.
GameCube was underrated. So many good games on GameCube.
Let's see. Do you remember the first game you ever played?
Probably Duck Hunt, or was it Duck Hunt? Probably was Duck Hunt.
Mine was probably Mario.
I think it was Duck Hunt with the light gun and all that at the Rogers house.
How's Wii Skeem?
He's good. That's probably more a question for you. Oh, why did I just do that? That was silly of me.
He's good. He's eating a lot right now.
Involuntary lag, you sent me money. You did? Oh, holy hell. Bro, you could have donated that through Streamlabs, gotten some clout and coins. If you want the coins, let me know. And I will adjust it accordingly if you didn't want the clout on the screen. But thank you very much for sending me money, involuntary lag.
Huh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not getting my own mic. I will just try and talk louder, which is hard for me.
Yes, we're working on it with Mrs. Skeem. Get her to project her voice more.
I'm also like 5 feet away.
If I was 5 feet away, do you think they'd have a problem hearing me?
No, but you
Exactly.
are...
Exactly. Someone asked about all the Bitcoins. Sometimes I play, like, if I've 100%ed a Mario game, then I'll go back and try to get all the coins. I've done that before. But this is just a first playthrough, so I don't really care.
Do you ever play Super Smash Brothers online?
Not anymore. I tried it once. I didn't like it.
AKA last night, AKA on a stream.
Yes, it was just terrible.
Let's see. Does Wii Skeem like Wii Skeem wearing the mask? He
not really.
He doesn't dislike it anymore.
Has he gotten over it now?
We haven't tried putting him in here while you're filming. Like,
yeah.
But you've come out in the mask, or at least in the morph suit, and he just kind of stares at you, and once you start talking, he smiles a bit, so... I don't think he's necessarily afraid, it's more of just like, I don't want to be here while you're filming, I know what you're doing, come save me.
Yeah, he gets bored quick.
Mr. Bean versus Charlie Chaplin by Fresh Now.
What is it?
Will you react to Mr. Bean versus Charlie Chaplin by Fresh Now when it becomes an actual video?
I didn't know he was working on that.
I guess he must have released the audio.
But, I mean, that sounds interesting. So maybe.
Are you gonna beat the whole game? Maybe not tonight.
I mean, it depends how long the game is, I guess.
Here we because Skeem guilt-tripped me about voting on but not watching the stream before.
Well, that wasn't a stream. That was a video. It wasn't even a stream that you guys didn't watch. It's a video that's sitting on my channel. And what's funny is the second poll, guilting you guys, also got more votes than that video has been viewed. It's just what it is.
I mean, this was a little bit ago, but Scooter said Yoshi is green.
This Yoshi?
Just so y'all know. This was like 6 minutes ago.
I think he's referring to the purple Yoshi controversy of yesteryear.
Yes. Conspiracy theory. Skeem was already in an ERB. We just don't know. Conspiracy theory. Skeem is the Spider-Man itself.
That's probably true.
What game are you most interested in?
What does that even mean?
Are you saying, like, that he doesn't have, that he should play, wants to play or something?
Yeah, that question's confusing.
What's your favorite GTA?
I don't know. I think the one I played the most was 4. So, if it goes by time played, probably 4, even though 5 was probably a better GTA. But I played 4 a lot more.
If you ask to be shouted out, you will not be shouted out.
That's very true.
Someone said Epic Lloyd should feature you in a song.
I think it'd be a lot more likely that Epic Lloyd and I did a song together than I ever did anything with ERB. But again, same rules apply where there would have to be some purpose, some need I'd fulfill that would make Lloyd want to do a song, or just a song that Lloyd's like, I would like to hear you on it. But Lloyd and I really aren't on that kind of level. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. It'd be more likely that I somehow convinced Lloyd to get on one of my songs than vice versa. And I'm not at the point where I would bother the guy for it, and I'd have to have a good reason to.
Saber, we don't have that much of a delay. Skeem just takes his sweet-ass time answering questions, so I'm super far behind in the chat.
Well, there is a 2-minute delay.
Yeah,
on
but
top
I'm
of
like
that.
6 minutes behind.
Well, that's fine. So skip some questions.
But there's some...
Skip the
to get
dumb
recognized.
questions. Filter. Filter!
Why are you collecting all of the Bowsers?
What?
Somebody said, why are you collecting all of the Bowsers? I'm not watching...
Why didn't I just say to skip stupid questions?
I don't know! I'm not paying attention to the video I'm reading. Thank
Like,
you,
what does that
Blake.
even mean?
I don't even know.
What are you thinking?
I said thank you, Blake.
What did Blake do?
He just joined in. He dropped a like. He's been a sub for a minute. Just wanted you and your family to have a blessed night.
Thanks, Blake. Yay! They cheered for Blake.
Can you play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
I can, but I don't think I will on a stream. I don't have that game anyway.
People keep asking about favorite stuff. I'm like, you don't...
Favorite stuff questions get ignored. So, don't ask me favorites.
So with that, we are caught up.
Okay, good. Yeah, favorites are like basic bitch questions. Don't favorite me. Give me something to actually think about and respond to. Not just arbitrarily tell you how I feel about whatever item you're talking about at this moment, and it'll change later anyway, so who cares? Oh, that's a big bomb. Yeah.
Mario number 1! Woohoo!
You'll probably be on Crypt Cypher 4, though.
Who said that?
I see 778.
In relation to what? Because it said no?
Just, yeah, it says.
Alright. Who knows? It'll just depend on the cipher. First of all, it's probably not going to happen until next year or the end of this year. And if Crypt has me on there, it's just going to be because the nature of the cipher needs a weird-ass mask dude. And that's a big maybe factor, so I wouldn't hold your breath.
Let's see. Batman villains or Spider-Man villains?
Batman. Spider-Man's got a couple good villains, but Batman, like, almost every villain's gold. Plus you got the Joker, and that's kind of a big trump card for villains. How much does this Yoshi need to eat? Jeez Louise.
How far up on your list for getting stuff is VR?
Not really on the radar. I don't even know how you would stream VR, and since the games I play are all games that I can stream with you guys, that makes it tough. Plus VR would probably require better PC equipment. Well, I guess I could VR on my current graphics card, but not high on my list. The only thing on VR that I'm even interested to play is Half-Life, and I'm not interested enough to invest in VR.
Will you be getting SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated?
What?
I don't know.
Is that a fucking game?
Why?
Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. If that's a game, no, because any movie or TV properties turned into games or vice versa are trash.
Where's Skeem versus Jason Todd?
Dead, where it belongs. That unlocked 3 paths. Wow.
If you fix your reaction to the man on my left shoulder, when do you think it will be uploaded? Are you gonna fix that? Have you
I don't know. To be honest, I didn't like the song a lot, so that makes it less likely that I want to put the time into fixing it, just so you guys can bitch at me for not liking the song. So, I don't know.
Let's see. What hero do you think has the worst villains?
So now we're taking favorites and trying to switch it to worst.
No,
I see you thinking, I get it.
I mean...
I don't like the absolutes, though.
Just what... Okay, in general, what villain do you think is overrated?
No, I think the character with the worst villains is probably Iron Man, as far as the major characters. He has, like, hardly any interesting villains, aside from the ones that impact all of the Avengers rather than him.
I can't remember any of Iron Man's villains, honestly.
Well, you never read the comics either. But Iron Man usually has very uninteresting and uninspired villains, in my opinion.
Yeah, I never read the comic like Batman, and everybody knows Joker, and I don't think I would have to even see movies to at least know that.
Yeah.
What? Have you been able to get your capture card you wanted?
Well...
What are we doing right now?
What are we doing? We're streaming Switch, which I wasn't able to do without a capture card. We're streaming Switch. Are you asking if I got the one I wanted rather than just a capture card? If so, yes. This is the one that I wanted to get, and it's awesome. I think you guys can agree it does a pretty good job with doing quality.
So, following up on Bikini Bottom, people are saying it's actually good.
I don't believe people.
Saber asked if you listened to that Simon Garfunkel song yet.
No, because I would have done a reaction if I did it. I have not. It's on my list, but I haven't done it. I have a list of bribes to look at and be like, should I do this bribe? Should I not? But anytime someone bribes me, I write it down and try to get to them. I also have to read, like, go the fuck to sleep, because that bribe I'm definitely going to fulfill. I'm just not sure if I'm going to do that as like a video or a random live stream or what I'm going to do with that yet.
I want it to be a video. I think it'd be fun.
Just a whole video reading that. Could be.
So then people can play it to their children at night.
It's an irresponsible parent.
I mean, people make their own choices.
That's true. The crazy masked man told you to go the fuck to sleep, Billy.
Are we doing good during coronavirus?
Yep.
Skeem enjoys this way too much.
I love being home. I don't like people, if you haven't gotten that impression on my channel.
I do like you actually like get to see your son.
Yeah, I never really got to see him. With the commute.
Like 2 hours
the drive to work
later.
is too long.
Yeah, well, yeah, you saw him like 2 hours a day waking. And,
yeah.
You know, he was long asleep by the time he got home.
Alphabite, do you guys know if Skeem does features? Why don't you just ask me, bro? Sporadically. It depends on what someone's asking me to be on. Usually if I'm gonna do a feature, the way I'm gonna be agreeable is if someone approaches me and they're like, this is the beat, my verse is already on it, I'm gonna send you the beat with my verse on it, this is what I want you to put on it. And as long as the production value isn't like garbage, the song concept is okay, I'll probably do it if I have time to do it. If I don't have time to do it, I'll be like, I like this, but I don't have time to do it. Well, like, it's not a high enough priority to get it done quick. And if you want it done within, like, a month, then fucking pay me to do it. But it usually doesn't get to that level, because usually people will just wait, and then I'll get them the verse. For me, it's just like...
Holy stuff, a donation!
$1 donation! Woo! Donation directly through PayPal, requested that you play Bendy.
Yeah, I went and looked
I gotcha.
Yeah, I went and looked at it. I was going to tell you about that.
Okay, cool. I'll follow up later. What was the request?
Play Bendy and Ink Machine.
I actually really want to play that game. Not on this stream, but I do want to play that game, and it might actually help with some of the reactions you guys are asking me for. So, double bonus. So I'd say, yeah, that's something we'll do. We'll play the Bendy game. It'll help me with these Bendy reactions you want. And I've actually wanted to play that game. So, everybody wins.
Yeah, Alphabite Music actually did ask you, we just hadn't gotten that far down yet.
Gotcha.
Do you like card games? Preferably poker.
I like Texas Hold'em. I used to play somewhat competitively online with Texas Hold'em. Made some decent money.
Yeah, I wanted to play euchre, but, like,
that's a Hoosier thing. It's a very Hoosier thing.
Xander Triple Dog dares you to watch the Joker movie.
I've seen it.
That was the last movie we watched in theaters before I went into labor.
Yeah, before Skeem was born.
That was like the day before.
Yep.
And I haven't seen the whole movie in theaters since.
Nope. Only half of one.
Yep, I saw half of one movie.
Yeah.
What is your favorite what? Epic Monkey just said, what is your favorite?
I think he just wants to make me mad.
Oh, okay.
Go time.
Skeem not liking people. Mrs. Skeem, am I a joke to you? Is there a story how you guys met?
You could tell it.
Skeem is almost 8 months old.
I guess you're not gonna tell it.
Sorry, there was another question. And dual answered, and thank you for answering. Roll off. So yeah, Skeem is almost 8 months old. I don't know, we met in college. He randomly sat down with me and my group of friends and proceeded to annoy me for the next, like, 30 minutes.
See, this is the false version of the narrative. I'll tell you the real story in a minute. I'll tell them the real story in a minute, but you continue.
And then, like, every time I saw him after that, it happened to be, like, well, it was in the common area, so it was, like, when I was, like, eating lunch or whatever.
No, I also saw you on the way to class and everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So here's the real story. Real story is back before I fully hated people. So before retail, I would just find a random group of people in the cafeteria and crash their lunch. So I'd just sit down, get to know them, talk to them, whatever. And it was usually just fine, but when I found Mrs. Skeem's table, they were trying to treat the cafeteria like the fucking library.
I had a class.
And they were saying, hey, to me and the other people I was talking to at the table, they were like, hey, can you be quiet? We're trying to study. And I said, then go to the fucking library. I didn't say that, but I said pretty much that. I was like, if you want to study, don't be in the cafeteria. The cafeteria is for eating and fellowship, not for studying. And so I just trolled them about not knowing where to study for the entire lunch. And then for the next, like, year, almost, every time I saw Mrs. Skeem, she was eating. It didn't matter where. It didn't matter where. On the way to class, in comments, everywhere. Mrs. Skeem was a grazer.
200 pounds. And number 2, it was like 3 months because we were dating.
Whatever.
4 months
Mrs.
later.
Skeem liked, and in college, to graze. She didn't really want meals, she was just eating all the time, which is actually way better for your metabolism. It's the way that all of us should operate. But she was that way in college. She was grazing it up. And so I would just mess with her about it.
Anyway, I didn't like him. I thought he was cute, but I definitely didn't like him for a long time. And we actually just talked about this recently. We don't really know when we started liking each other or how that happened, but
we never did. We just got together.
It just ended up, we just got together, and it's been, almost 10 years.
Yep, but we never liked each other. That part's stupid.
Love is a choice, people.
That's right.
So. And we knew we were getting married.
See ya, Saber.
You told me you were gonna marry me like 3 days after we started dating.
That's your interpretation.
No, that's not my interpretation. That's literally what happened.
I don't remember.
We started dating on Tuesday. He told me that he was gonna marry me on Friday.
Did you not, before you started dating me, tell your roommate you were gonna marry me? Because that's the story I remember.
No.
Yes.
No, actually, that wasn't what happened.
You're just BSing now, and I don't like your BS.
I have nothing to be embarrassed about.
You're BSing.
I married you.
You're still BSing.
No. My roommate and I were talking about, just basically, who was attractive on campus.
No. I've heard the story many a times.
That's not...
Of the truth.
You like to make
just
things
BSing.
up. You like to make things up.
When you were like, oh my goodness, this is the guy I'm going to marry, and we'd hardly been dating. Yeah, that story.
Oh, I didn't tell my roommate that. I just, went back to my room after we hung out,
Okay, so, sorry, you didn't tell your roommate.
No.
You just died.
I just knew, yeah. Thursday,
Whoops.
I knew, and you told me on Friday. And I was like, yeah, I know.
There you go.
So I was just in agreement with you, wasn't I?
Okay.
Hope y'all are enjoying this.
Well, what are the other questions that you
I don't know.
Well, go back to the thing that I cared about. Jeez, what are you good for?
We were talking. So
Maybe you would know if you were paying attention to the chat, which is your
No,
job.
I went back and looked. I don't know what she's
Well, you would have known in context.
It's 2 minutes delayed.
Not if you're looking at the chat on here. Well, I guess, no, if you look at the chat on YouTube, then you'll see it's more...
It's still going to be delayed. Shut up. So you're saying the best way to get a girl is to annoy the crap out of them?
Sure.
Yes. And actually, before we started dating, he texted me and asked me if I was a lesbian.
It was a legit question.
Because I like Dragon Ball Z.
That was not the only reason. There were many signs.
There are many signs, like what?
I asked you about them in the text.
No, you literally only texted me saying, "Are you a lesbian? My friends want to know."
Yeah, my friends did want to know.
But you didn't tell me any reasons, and when I asked you, you said because you like DBZ.
That was one reason. And it's not liking DBZ.
Alright.
It was the level of passionate intensity you had for it. And now, before you guys get weird about that, weebs didn't really exist at the time. Women and anime were not allowed to be publicly acknowledged. Okay, it was a different time. If you were a woman, you were not allowed to admit to liking anime, because anime was only for, and any anime, Dragon Ball Z included, anime was only for the very, very weird people. There was no, like, weeb culture. So, women who liked anime at that time, probably a lesbian, or a murderer, or both. A lesbian murderer. So it was a legitimate question to have.
Sophie said the red flag was saying you're going to marry them 3 days into dating, but this is true love. Annoy them until they can't get rid of you. I mean, yeah. Really, you know I was going to college for my MRS.
That's right. All elementary education majors are there looking for a husband anyway. So I was just preaching to the choir that I was dating. Just letting them know. I know that all you're looking for is a husband.
Holy butt stuff a donation!
How are you, Wee Skeem and Mrs. Skeem? Have you seen Bill and Ted, Lewis and Clark? Am I the only one who gives it to Bill and Ted? Stay safe. I don't think I've reacted to that one yet. It's on my list. Because it's a classic little ERB. So, I don't remember it, so I don't know who won at this point. When I react to it, I'll let you know who I think won. My bias is gonna go towards Bill and Ted for sure, though. Stay excellent.
Ooh.
What?
Deep question.
Okay.
What is the most regrettable time of your life?
Skip.
Alright. What really happened was Wee Skeem showed Mrs. Skeem his yo-yo tricks.
That's right. Those yo-yo tricks, friends. That's how you get them. What?
I was like, do you have a yo-yo?
I've had yo-yos since I've known you, but I don't really know many tricks. I want the flower! Oh, screw it. What?
They love that you asked me if I was a lesbian.
Well, good. Because it was a good question.
I still want to know the other reasons.
Well, that's good.
Did you ever play or ever consider playing any of the Telltale games?
Nope. Wait, I played one of them, I think, if you're talking about, like, the Walking Dead games. I think that's what you're talking about. I played through, like, season 1 or something, if that's what you're talking about.
So, somebody said, how do I get a boyfriend? Should I follow your steps and annoy them? Well, at the time, I was not annoying him, he was annoying me. And then once we got together, it's been reversed, and that's how I've kept him, is I just annoy him.
Yeah, no. If you want a boyfriend, no. If you want a boyfriend, step 1, be hot. And that's the only step.
Well, no, remember, there's a hot, crazy Matrix.
Yeah, but you'll get a boyfriend. He'll leave you eventually. But one day, you'll get a boyfriend who's too, like, bitch-made to leave you. So, the only step to getting a boyfriend is being hot. Keeping them requires other steps, but all I was asked was getting one. Getting one is just be hot. Everyone has a way to optimize their hotness. You're not gonna always be just super hot. You got what you got, but you can optimize what you got. But that is the only step to getting a boyfriend. Be hot. That's it.
For example, before I started dating Skeem, I actually didn't wear makeup.
Yeah, we fixed that.
Now we're quarantined and I don't wear makeup again.
Pretty sure by the time we went on our first date, I already had you wearing makeup. Actually, that is true. Because in our time as friends, I already was like, respect yourself. Like, that's respecting yourself.
Respecting myself, it was just...
No, looking good is a form of self-respect. Like,
I just didn't grow up that way.
I know. You grew up wrong. Because there's a lot of self-esteem issues if you don't try to look your best. Which, if you try to argue with me right now about you having some self-esteem issues, don't. We all do.
Okay, so, I don't have another favorite anime. It's Dragon Ball.
That's just Dragon Ball. That's where it begins and ends.
I don't watch any other anime. So, not the... is Dragon Ball really anime?
Yes, it's just the normie anime, so weebs get annoyed at it. Okay. But honestly, it's like the most successful anime ever.
I'm okay being a normie. Like,
yeah, it's literally like the most successful anime ever, so weebs can suck it.
How do you get and keep a girlfriend?
Be
hot.
No, that's not money. Have money. You get a girlfriend and keep a girlfriend by having money. If you don't have money, have a really good sense of humor. Those are the only ways.
That's how he kept me, was his humor.
And now I got the money. Not really, but getting there. So yeah, if you want a girlfriend, be funny, or have money, or both. Also, go for girls that, like, would be interested in you. A lot of dumb guys and simps will be, like, super shy and awkward, and then they want to go after, like, those super outgoing girls who, like, want to try butt sex on the first date. And they're like, oh, she's my queen, but why doesn't she like me? She doesn't like you because your personalities are so incompatible. You're afraid of your own shadow, and she's, like, ready to start, like, a party every 5 seconds. She ain't for you, bro. Move on. So a lot of times guys can't find girls because they idolize women who they have nothing in common with because they like the allure of how different they are and how exciting they are. But guess what? If they're that exciting to you, do you realize how boring you are to them? Find yourself someone who actually would make sense for you to be with. Girls are a lot better than than guys, at finding guys that would actually make sense to be with them. For some reason, guys just, like, go for these women who have nothing in common with them.
It's because we're emotional. Like, we need to have a connection with
them. So women understand, oh, this guy would be terrible for me, but men just go, oh, she's so cool and interesting, I want to be with her. What do you bring to the table, you simp? And that's why the solution to that is be funny or have money, and then I guess you could get with those girls you'd be terrible with, but you'll just be miserable. So good luck.
No, Duel, I mean, I guess I watched some of the Pokemon series, but no, I played Pokemon, both Nintendo and
Game
trading.
And you played Game Boy. Well, yeah, because now it's not just Game Boy.
Yeah, I said Nintendo, so covers all the bases.
I gotcha.
But, and I played the trading card game, and, collecting cards and stuff like that, but I didn't watch a whole lot of the series. Dad Potter abs.
For what?
Scooter asked Mrs. Skeem, Dad bought her abs.
Abs are always better than Dad bod.
I kind of go in the middle. Like, yeah, abs are great, but, like, there's just something about Dad bod, especially now, it's like...
There's that responsibility attached. Oh, I thought there was a gap there.
Yeah, there's just, like...
There's a charm to Dad bod.
There's stability there. Let's see. React to Adam and Eve with Mrs. Skeem? Probably not.
That's been requested a lot, and I don't think either of us like that idea.
Skeem, you talk about self-esteem issues when you say people wouldn't want you on a track because you're weird. For real. Basically, you're better than you think you are.
I don't understand what was said.
Well, they've said a couple of comments like that, like, I have to go back to my
I have no idea what you're talking about. And
Skeem
now I
can
don't.
deny how good his rapping is all he wants by saying he's weird, but that won't make his rapping worse.
I'm not sure what that comment means.
It sounded like it was saying you're better than you think you are. Can you please do a reaction of Paint Happily Ever After?
What?
I don't know. They got some feedback.
I have no idea what that is.
Play
What I want?
Minecraft.
No! Never played Minecraft. We'll see when I finally give in to that. Definitely gonna take bribery to get me into the Minecraft world.
Have you played Blair Witch?
No? I've watched the terrible movie from the 90s. Oh, that did not work out.
Have you ever played Undertale
I've not played Undertale.
or Deltarune?
I don't know what Deltarune is. I haven't played Undertale because around the same time I found out Undertale was a thing, because I'm not like into the indie game community. But like right when I found out it was a thing, I also found out that it was like an ever-growing porn fetish thing, which just kind of creeped me out towards the whole concept. So I just steered clear.
Paint is the name of John Cozart's YouTube channel.
Who's John Cozart?
I don't know, but that's what you're asking.
Whatever.
Don't ask favorites.
Favorites get ignored.
So you could probably answer this. What's your favorite color?
Just out of principle, I'm not answering that.
I know what it is.
I've answered that before on streams. See if you can find it.
So they said it's such a Skeem video. It's about the realistic versions of Disney movies and how crazy the princess actually.
Shit, balls, fuck. What am I getting interrupted with again? I know it's not you.
Okay.
But what do you want? What video
I
is
think
what?
this video, the paint video, is. Sophie said it's such a Skeem video. It's about the realistic versions of Disney movies and how crazy the princesses actually are, but in a synchronized quartet.
No. I don't think I would be interested in that. You guys would be surprised what actually interests me or not.
What's your opinion about record players?
I have one. And I like it. I don't know what you're asking for.
Good job, Jewel. Jewel said red is his favorite color. I'll answer.
Thanks, Duel. Duel's paid attention on a stream or two.
Emailed Anthrax said Skeem is weird because it's his shtick, and anyone who can't appreciate that for a collab is jelly.
My shtick is weirdness. It's also just my natural status. So, whichever.
That's all I got right now.
I think the chat just came alive again.
Jewel,
Let's
don't
chill out.
feel bad. It's not your responsibility to know how old our son is.
It's true.
What Mario character do you relate to the most?
Rosalina, because she's thick like me.
Record players or Walkman?
Somebody new sort of likes me.
Yay, a new subscriber!
Scooter as record player or Walkman?
Walkman or... Oh shit. They play tapes. tapes are one of the worst ways to listen to music that ever existed. Like, the appeal to a record player is vinyl. The way that the sound is captured is still analog. The only way to get better sound quality than vinyl, oh shit, is through a CD. Because CDs technically give you more of the sound. But there's an appeal to vinyl that doesn't exist on CD. Like, just the sound quality and the warmth of it is the best way to describe it. Shit, this boss is not consistent with his moves. I like it, but I gotta learn it. So, vinyl just has that warmth to it that makes it appealing. It's kind of like Microsoft Word is obviously better. Aww. Oh, this is that Bowsette meme starter. This is where Bowsette comes from. Because Toadette can use that. I get it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a warmth to record players. It's kind of like Microsoft Word is better than a typewriter, but there's still a reason that you'd want to use a typewriter to type something because of just the organic feel to it. Same idea. What is this? No, I don't want a sample run. I get what I'm doing, I'm just dying while doing it. It's fine. I don't know why I used the star.
Do another subpar rap battles of YouTube.
Okay. Thanks for the tip.
Eventually.
Yeah.
When it's right.
It's just, can't get rushed and have to do it right, so... What the shit? How did that happen? Had to evolve them into that little bitch?
Do you know any of the Koopalings' names?
Iggy, Wendy, Lenny, isn't there, one of them, Marty, Ludwig, Von, whatever. So I think those are some of their names, right? Right.
Do you have an opinion on K-pop?
No, because I haven't really listened to K-pop. The only thing I've seen of K-pop are little clips where the guys are very effeminate and the girls are very short in their shorts and like to gyrate a lot. So I'm like, alright, everyone's having a good time, girly guys and girls and revealing clothes, so that's got to be part of the appeal, but musically I don't know because I never listened to it.
Tyler says he has a record player going through surround sound.
That's always a good thing.
What music do you mostly listen to?
Alternative rock, and yeah, that's mostly alternative rock and a lot of electronic music, you know, that really didn't leave the 2000s, but I still listen to it. Lights and stuff like that. No one knows what that is. I know your moves now.
Tyler
sucker.
says, but he wants K-pop dancers in Japan for him.
Yes, I want to take the Korean dancers to Japan to celebrate. That is what I want.
Do a reaction to Doc Brown versus Doctor Who.
It's going to happen eventually. That one is more likely to have Mrs. Skeem involved than Adam and Eve. You guys all asked for... Shit, you changed everything on me. You little bitch, but you're dead now.
I don't know, could you do a reaction by yourself to Doctor Who?
Not competently. Well, maybe. It depends how deep they go. Because I know a lot of the general lore. I know a lot of the basic lore of Doctor Who, so it just really depends how deep the bars go.
Yeah,
and I know everything Back to the Future, so that side's easy.
Well, yeah, that's easy for you. More Arnold reactions.
No.
Here for beaten butt stuff and peener pods.
Butt stuff and what?
Peener pods.
What are peener pods?
I don't know. That's what
I said peener, but when did I say peener pod?
I don't know. It's just what they said.
Alright.
What's your opinion on Sandstorm by Darude? I like Sandstorm. It's a fun song.
It's a dumb little fun song. Hey, a blue Yoshi! Unlike the purple Yoshi of Mario World. That's a blue
Do
Yoshi.
you like Skillet or Red?
Not really.
I do.
You like Skillet, right?
Yeah, I also like some Red. It's been a while since I've listened to it. I used to have Red as my alarm clock.
Yeah. I always find that variety of alternative rock. The thing I don't like about it is I feel like every song sounds the same. So I get bored.
Bye, Moni. Did you say bye to Moni?
Bye, Moni. I didn't know Moni was leaving.
I said bye, you just didn't hear her.
I didn't hear you. Oops, that was a mistake. Oh well.
Ooh, if you use a VPN, Doctor Who is on UK Netflix.
Yeah, there's a lot you could get with VPN Netflix. I haven't explored that world. I have VPN, I use it for like banking and crap. But I've thought about Netflix. I just find it odd that Netflix doesn't go, your entire account is in the States, but you're in the UK right now, so here you go! It's kind of funny how the region locking works. I wonder if they flag accounts if you, like, switch countries too often. No idea. Don't know how Netflix rocks with that.
Do you like Breaking Benjamin?
Sometimes. I prefer 1,000 Foot Crutch if I'm listening to that type of alternative rock.
Well, Skillet is a Christian man, so what's your point?
What happened?
Mario time.
Somebody said we Skeem. Well, Skillet is a Christian band, so question mark. Like,
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Like, so what's your
that?
point?
All I said about Skillet was...
I like Skillet, and yes, they are a Christian band.
So is
But they're
1,000 Foot
also,
Crutch,
like,
who I just mentioned.
Yeah, they're very good.
I don't
Even in
understand.
mainstream.
I said I don't like Skillet, and then you say, whatever, I'm moving on.
But even in mainstream, I think they do some things that are popular. Let's see. Would you ever play a horror game? Well, didn't you?
I already did on stream. Several different ones. Outlast was my favorite.
I'm waiting for the day for Skeem to stream Fortnite. We'll keep waiting.
Yeah... Fortnite I played with the junior high and high school kids.
This stream is sponsored by NordVPN.
I wish. NordVPN needs to sponsor me, because I use their VPN, and, bro, what better mascot for VPN than a masked maniac? Like, come on. Figure your shit out, Nord.
What's your opinion on acapella music?
It's fine, but it gets old really
I was
fast.
gonna say, you generally don't really like it. Like, I like pentatonics, and
Well,
especially,
pentatonics is
like,
too
Christmas.
produced. Too produced. It's like, I might as well just be listening to the instruments at that point. I'm a bigger fan of acapella that still sounds more like acapella, like a quartet group, than the acapella that's like more modern and mainstream where it sounds like fucking instruments, but it's people. So I'm like, then instruments would have sounded better. Why are you doing this? And half the time I could hear, from an audio engineering perspective, all the tricks they're doing, so it's hardly like it's their voices. Like, they're pretty much using their voices as a MIDI file to mimic instruments, and I'm like, that's just weak. So, that's why pentatonics and stuff isn't big on me. Even when they're live, I can hear what live compressors and stuff they're using to make it sound different.
Do you like Family Guy?
Not really. It can be funny sometimes, but it's a terrible show.
Family Guy more.
Well, no, I mean, it's funny, it's just dumb and not a good show. Like, I just watch American Dad instead.
What do you think about Queen?
These are really vanilla questions. Queen is fine. I like Queen.
I
Great.
like
Freddie
Queen more
Mercury's
than he
good.
does.
Yeah, but I've never disliked Queen.
Yeah, but you don't just, like, listen to Queen.
No, not really.
Like, I'll sit down and listen to Queen.
There's some songs of theirs I'll listen to, but not like whole albums.
What creepypasta do you fucking hate the most?
Do I what?
What creepypasta do you fucking hate the most?
Why would I hate a creepypasta? Are you like saying that some of those actually bother you? I think my favorite creepypasta is the Majora's Mask one. That one's really cool with the like haunted cartridge. That one's a great creepypasta. Squidward's Suicide is okay too, but there've been so many stupid video versions of it made, it kind of hurt the actual creepypasta.
Your general location is not unknown. We make it very clear. We live in Indiana.
What did someone say?
Somebody said, Skeem, you would be the perfect mascot for NordVPN, but your general location is unknown.
What would my general location have to do with being a mascot first? Secondly, my P.O. box is in the description.
True.
So it's kind of easy to know where I am generally.
Sonic X or Ben Drowned?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know those words.
Posted that a couple of times. What was the worst date you've ever been on?
Oh, I know that. That was in college. Well, actually, there's a couple.
Not me, right?
Not you. No, not you. There's two main choices. It depends on if you want worst date for creep factor or worst date for, oh, this was just awful cringy factor. I hate this challenge right now. I am not appreciative of what this level is doing. Trying to figure it out. I have a mushroom
Hey,
or
are you
something.
gonna share or not?
Oh, well, I was waiting for them to tell me if it was creep factor or cringe factor. Worst date. Because I have one for each of those. And you're only gonna get one.
They said Ben Drowned is the name of Majora's Mask creepypasta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that one.
What would you do?
Oh, yeah, Ben Drowned. Duh. Such a good one. Shit.
What would you do with your life if your YouTube channel had never existed?
Probably have a different
What you would
YouTube
do.
channel. Like I have in the past.
Yeah. This is not the first foray into YouTube. So
Yeah,
keep
I'm
on
always
finding
doing
that.
something entertainment related. Always. Have been since I was like 14. I had a pretty spicy, popular MySpace channel back in the day.
Alright, creepy date experience preferred.
Alright, this is gonna get weird. So, college. What?
I wonder if I've heard this.
You probably have and just don't remember. You don't
Okay.
usually remember stories I tell you.
I don't listen to them.
No. So, in college, I go on. What is this? It's either first or second date with this person, okay? And we go to get sushi.
Oh, I've heard this.
And at the time, I don't remember why, because I'm a big sushi person and pretty good with chopsticks, but for some reason I was just fucking up with the chopsticks. And so I made some sort of comment. This was our second date, that's right. I made some sort of comment about, sorry, you know, or it wasn't even sorry, I was just kind of goofing. I was like, fuck, I suck with my fingers or something like that. Or I suck at using my fingers for these chopsticks.
Actually.
And then she looks at me, again, second date, and I hardly know this person. And I'm like, I kind of suck with my fingers. She looks at me and she goes, well, with how you kiss, you won't need your fingers anyway. And I'm just like, bitch. Like, I get you're trying to be sexy, but I have not put out any vibes that says, like, let's go that direction. Because I was still, like, very much, I don't really know if I know you. So I was weirded out.
Well, also the environment that you
The environment of the sushi place, like, people were, like, listening. It wasn't, like, a loud bar or something where it was sexy.
the school and everything.
Well, no, that doesn't matter. It wasn't like the school you went to. So it was just weird. Like, that's a bar comment, not like a restaurant with families in it who can hear you comment. And I was just like, oh, well, this is uncomfortable. And so I got the fuck out of there.
Emailed Anthrax, actually.
What?
Is your wife an INTJ?
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're predictable.
I think it's been a long time, but I think that's it.
No, I'm pretty sure that's it.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Introverted, judgmental, yeah.
I know that I and the J are definitely right.
I just don't know the
That just
Delta.
made me laugh.
Yeah, that's you.
Do you actually know me then?
No, everybody knows.
That out.
You're obvious with it.
Okay, now I want to know what the other one was.
I don't remember. It's Jungian personality psychology.
No, the other date experience.
Oh, well, maybe another time.
Oh.
Shit. I'm so bad at this castle right now. Fortress. I died on the stupid boss. Oh, I'm distracted.
Well, and he said, well, I knew Skeem was an ENTP, so that means you guys are a golden pair.
No, I'm not anything on Jungian scale, actually. And yes, that's a real thing. Basically, if I take different versions of the personality assessment for Jung's personality traits, I'll have a different personality trait every single time. And that puts me in this weird subcategory. I forget what it's called. But it's like this 0.001% of the population category. I remember my professor in theories of personality, like, got a nerd boner when they figured out after, like, because we did, like, the in-class one, and he was like, oh, this can't be right. This isn't a normal scoring. So then we did, like, another one, and it was the same thing. So then he was like, can you go to this place? Because the school will pay for it. So I went to this other place and took like 4 more, same result every time. And he just geeked out, because at the time I didn't know what the fuck it meant. Basically all it means is my personality is extremely balanced, which is hyper rare. Because people have very tilted personalities. They react to situations a certain way. When your personality is very balanced, you're basically just going to individually assess every situation and react differently. And because of that, because your personality is so balanced, you're extraordinarily unpredictable. And it's a rare personality type, and that's me. Yeah, I beat it.
Yeah, isn't it Myers-Briggs?
No, Jung made it. I think Myers-Briggs just made the test out of Jung's psychology. It's the Myers-Briggs test, but all the psychology behind it was developed by Carl Jung.
Sophie has the same personality type as Ted Bundy.
That's alarming.
What's your worst job experience?
I don't know. Having a job. Not really. There's too many. I worked in retail, man. That's a list.
Do you have a phobia?
A phobia?
Yeah.
Do I? Probably not.
Not really, no?
Phobias are very irrational. What'd you say? I mean, the only thing I can think is close to a phobia is I don't like planes.
Somebody new sort of likes me.
Yay, a new subscriber, welcome. So I guess the closest phobia I have is planes, but I go on planes. I don't make a deal out of it, I just don't like them. I'm uncomfortable on planes.
Do you like tequila?
Yep.
What are your hobbies? This?
This?
Every Everything he does on this channel is one of his hobbies.
I turn my hobbies into jobs because that's the pro baller move. To be like, if you have a hobby, find a way to make money off of it so that your hobby and your work becomes the same thing. And that is a big secret to a very happy life. Make your hobby into your jobs.
What was your first Mario game?
Super Mario World was the first one I owned, not the first one I played. Yay!
Do I have a phobia? I'm sure I have lots of phobias.
You have phobias of almost everything. We just have to start on the list.
I wouldn't say, like, there's necessarily anything that, like, paralyzes me, though.
Making decisions paralyzes you.
Yes, I have an issue with choice.
Anything with texture and food paralyzes you. You have a lot of phobias and paralyzing moments.
I just get overwhelmed. I don't think it's necessarily a phobia. It's just like I can't process things. Favorite sport to watch and or play?
To watch football, to play football or basketball. But basketball is usually easier, so basketball usually wins. Easier to like pick up and play. Football, it's hard to get going the right way. So much more equipment and stuff.
Emailed Anthrax said he tested you on C.S. Joseph temperament scale of Jungian analytical psychology. It helps to identify your type in about 30 minutes or less.
It's kind of hard to test someone that's not yourself. Unless you have a lot of detailed information and are doing a Q&A with them. But this Q&A has not included quite the right questions for that.
Plus also you on here is...
What?
You on here is semi-different than...
It's quite a bit different in many ways.
It depends on your situation. I don't have a favorite creepypasta because I don't think I've watched any of it.
It's not a watch, it's
Whatever.
like a Reddit thing.
Okay, never, yeah. Yeah. Nothing to say about that.
Shit. Balls.
Oh, somebody else is the same with choice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm just gonna get a star and kill these penguins soon.
Said, yeah, I know, but you should see C.S. Joseph channel on ENTPs and then tell me I'm wrong.
I'll tell you you're wrong because I know I don't fit on the scale. The problem is you see one side of me at one time. The thing about personality scales is there's a consistency to it. There's no consistency to what I do. Not to be
that's
rude,
right.
but a fucking random YouTube channel is not going to trump a lot of actual dedicated research and testing that I've gone through. It's just a fucking YouTube video.
Try living with him.
So no, I don't fall onto any of the scales. Especially the fact that the first thing of that is extrovert. And more often than not, I'm introverted. I think the variety was usually between 49, 51, and the largest split on any of them I took was like 52, 48. And that one was in favor of introversion, so... The fact that it starts with an E, I already know it's not accurate. Well, not that anything would be accurate. How's wee Skeem doing?
He's fine. Ethan.
I don't like this snow land. Didn't I unlock a second land I could go play in? I might want to do that. Let me go look.
Sure, Dylan. Give us a random animal fact.
don't want a random animal's back.
The chat's dead, might as well.
Yep, we did get another land.
Hello, Douglas Doolin.
Hello. Man, my choices are Iceland or Waterland. Both terrible choices. Why you do me like this, Mario?
Scooter, why?
What?
Scooter said Nemo would eventually have to mate with his dad.
Why would he have to mate with his dad? There's plenty of clownfish in the sea. None of that is not a sound thought. Plus, he couldn't mate with his dad, because nothing would happen.
Mort says he's an INFP.
He is? Good for him.
How's that hello goodbye coming? We haven't worked on that
It is
yet.
not coming. I mean, it might eventually, but I haven't worked on it.
Skeem's been busy.
Yeah, I'm busy making content that no one watches. Haven't you
Maybe
seen?
we'll work on it once I quit my job, because then he'll have more time.
Yes, I will. I'll have my mornings back. I'll get to sleep in, so I'll not be tired all the time. It'll be great.
We shall see.
Clownfish can change gender if they have to. I hear people can do that too, according to some people. The ice stayed this time. I think I just needed more ice. It's exciting. Yeti!
Email Anthrax really wants you to give him a chance.
Give who a chance?
On the... He said he's very rarely wrong on the personality.
Somebody new sort of likes me.
I mean, I don't have to. He's wrong this time. And the associations you're making are the same associations you make on like a horoscope or anything to do with astrology. You find similarities when you're looking for them. Now that doesn't apply to all personality psychology, but I can tell you it applies to the phenomenon you're experiencing right now. Because again, that has been tested by many, many people. And I'm sure I have traits of that. The thing with the personality thing that makes it broken, you will find that any combination, the whole point of what is weird about me, any combination of the Myers-Briggs will fit my personality seemingly to a T, depending on the situation. Like, literally all of them. And if you've known me for a long time, like in my personal life, you could look at any analysis of any of the Myers-Briggs things, think about a time that you've known me in my life, you'd be like, yep, that sounds like him, yep, that sounds like him, yep, that sounds like him. That's why...
It's actually really fucking annoying.
That's why it's broken for me. And I'm in a very, very small portion of the population that's true of.
What makes it annoying is, like, sometimes I'm almost expected to know how he's gonna be at a certain time, but then
Plot twist!
that's
Nope.
not how he is, and it's like, well, you just fucked up my plans.
Yep. I'm sure it's a pain in everyone else's ass. Actually, I know that, because I've been disliked by far more people than I've been liked
It doesn't make
by.
me dislike you, it's just like,
Well,
my
no,
plan for us
but
to do this.
average people who don't have the emotional investment for my crap.
Sometimes I wished I was male, yeah? I think all women at some point wish we were male.
I don't think all men wish they were women.
At minimum, like, when we're on our periods, we're like, fuck
Look,
this, why do
being
we
a
have to
woman
do this?
sucks way more than being a man. You take all the societal things out of it, it still sucks. You have periods, you have to have babies. No.
She said, because female interaction is so passive-aggressive.
That's also true.
Like, just state what you want to say and don't talk around it. And I thought Skeem was just about to, like, stare at me.
Yeah, fucking A.
He says I'm passive-aggressive all the time.
Well, you are. I don't say that. I just point out that that's a thing.
It's like the Hoosier in me. Like, we're, like, nice and hospitable and
That's not nice. Passive aggression is not nice.
So, like, anything aggressive is, like, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
A blue whale can weigh as much as 200 tons, and its heartbeat can be heard 2 miles away.
That's a pretty impressive heartbeat. What else do we got?
I'm 3. I need more input from Skeem. Yes, we all need more input from him.
He just isn't cooperating with videos. He's too squirmy.
Yeah. He's trying to figure out how to crawl, and right now, if he were to give input, he would just
be
say
screaming.
hi.
Yeah, hi!
Like, that's all he says right now.
Or he screams.
Yeah. Or laughs.
Oh shit, I hesitated.
Do you like any weird food combinations?
I don't think so. I like food. I don't know of any unusual...
I mean, you've done weird things with food.
But that's just like to mess with it, not like a
Yeah.
consistent, I eat this on a regular basis.
Like, he would do his own, like, chopped challenge.
Fucking fuck. Someone just tried to triple dog dare me into Minecraft.
Yeah.
You want to put triple digit dollars on that dare in my pocket, and I'll probably still say no.
Somebody said you should get Megacade.
Oh.
What?
Megacade? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Mad respect to the ladies. First child coming in a month. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wore a weighted vest for a walk with her and I was dying. She has it every day and you can't take it off. No shit. I didn't do that to Skeem. I should have.
You know I wouldn't have done it.
No, you wouldn't have, and I would have been pissed at you.
Yeah, I would not have done that. I'd be like, yeah, you get to suffer because you're a woman. I get to not suffer because I'm a man. Biology. Yay.
But have some, like, empathy.
Empathy is not the same as sharing suffering. I can understand that you are suffering. I do not need to suffer with you to understand that. That's a very, like, the whole idea of, oh, make my man suffer with me. I find to be super... No, it's super misguided, like, so fucking dumb. Because you're basically saying this man is incapable of empathizing without being in pain right now. Instead of being like, you know what, a better way to be a cohesive unit is if only one of us was in pain right now, so the other could be strong for the person in pain. No. We have this self-centered, if I'm in pain, you must be in pain mentality, which is a fucking toxic mentality.
No, that's not the mentality. It's just, hey, I want you to understand what this feels like.
Again, that's the idea that someone can't be empathetic without suffering, which is also stupid. We're humans. We can understand pain, emotion, and struggling without having to be experiencing it at that moment. It's just stupid. If I get shot, okay?
You're not super great at being empathetic, though. Which is why I would have wanted you to, like, try the weighted vest.
No, that's stupid. Like, if I get shot someday, I don't want you to put on one of those things that simulates what it's like to be shot. To be like, haha, see? Now you understand what it's like. What the fuck? You know I got shot. It hurt. So why don't you instead just spend that energy on being there for me and helping me instead of being in pain with me? That's stupid. That's not empathy. That's insanity.
New recipes. I mean, the ones I've tried have been successful so far, I think.
Are we human or are we dancers? Best question. Are we human or are we dancers?
Weird pregnancy cravings, did I?
No. You have weird cravings all the time.
Yeah. When I was pregnant the first trimester, I just wanted chocolate all the time. And then...
You're not usually a big chocolate person.
Not really, no. And then the rest of my pregnancy, I wanted hot wings a lot.
I don't like this guy. fortress bosses are weird with their jumps.
Hot wings and salsa. The salsa is pretty normal.
Yeah, you're always on that chicken salsa game.
John Rock says you have alien DNA. Yeah, $1,000 to play Minecraft. I'll answer for him. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd play Minecraft for $1,000. Put up or shut up, though.
What food have you never eaten but really wanted to try?
I eat foods I want to try. Like, I don't know why I would just sit there not eating a food I wanted to try.
I mean, I guess a really, really, really expensive cut of beef, maybe? Like,
I guess?
I don't know.
It's just
Like,
a weird idea that there's a food you want to
maybe,
try.
Like, real Wagyu beef.
I mean, that'd be cool.
Like, that's like crazy expensive.
Yeah, and you could usually not find it in the States.
Correct. So,
but no, I don't have anything like hard on my food bucket list. If there's anything like some food that I would want, I would love to eat just all sorts of barbecue and burgers and steak and shit made by Bobby Flay. Like, I'd dig that. Probably cost millions, thousands of dollars, or whatever that boy's charging these days. But that'd be cool.
do you like chicken a la king?
What?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't really know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I didn't have food aversions. Really, I had to actually, like...
You have food aversions naturally.
Well, yes, but, like, there wasn't, like, you cannot eat this around me. Like, he was saying he couldn't have poultry in the house.
I don't remember what it was. I couldn't have any of my shellfish, I know that, because the smell. So you were like, no shellfish. There's a couple things that you had aversions to.
Maybe. But,
eggs! You wouldn't let me have eggs around you.
Yeah, no, that's true. I eat eggs semi-frequently.
You would not let us have eggs in the house, practically.
Eggs practically my whole pregnancy.
Yeah, you were like, if they were in the house, you were pissed. Let me go back to Iceland.
Yeah, I just couldn't deal with it.
So yeah, you definitely had food aversions, don't lie.
Yeah, no, I forgot about that. But really, in general, I didn't have a really hard pregnancy. I had a lot of pain, but hard.
Turducken! It's an ambitious want to try.
Turducken. Sophie needs advice. My best friend is dating another one of my close friends, and I think that they lie to get out of things.
What?
What? Wait, sorry. This doesn't really.
Can you read?
No, I'm literally.
I need advice, Skeem. My best friend is dating another one of my close friends, and I think that they lie to get out of things. I said that I'm in a group setting, and I am being yelled at by both. Advice. So it sounds like you got friends that are being that weird couple that's no longer friendly after they become a couple. Advice is just get different friends. It ain't that deep. Like, friends that can't handle friends while being in a relationship, I just say it's not worth it. Because eventually, that relationship will either stay or end, but then there'll be another relationship, and they're not going to handle it any better. So if you're not happy with how they act when they're in a relationship, then just don't be friends with them. If they decide that they were in the wrong, they'll go pursue you and try to rekindle the friendship, and then let them. But otherwise, they'll probably allow you to quietly phase them out if they don't actually care about you anyway. So.
Mort said he had real Wagyu in Japan a few years back. It was like eating butter.
I'm sure it was.
I'm jealous. And I'm sure he's jealous of the Japan part.
Yeah, I just want to go to Japan.
So, let's see. I was asked if I'm your moral compass.
You try to be.
The thing is, Skeem does whatever the hell he wants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
whatever
mostly.
he thinks is right, and nobody else can really tell him otherwise.
I'll listen to a good argument. I've changed some of my moral standings. The argument just has to be good. Most of the time, people aren't good at making
You
good
can't
arguments.
say because I said so or because I feel that way.
Yeah, if you feel that way or you said so or no.
Which
fuck
is
that.
hard for me because when I feel confronted in that way, like if you're questioning what I believe or like am trying to get you to do, then my processing issue comes into play where like I can't handle your confrontation and I can't process to be able to even tell you why I think that, so then it just like I break down.
This is Mrs. Skeem's roundabout way of saying she is not good at convincing me to change my morality. Because her arguments don't really exist when they need to. But sometimes, if it's not in the moment and she's thought about it, she'll convince me. Just in the moment, she's not going to change my mind.
No, I can't think about it. Okay, anyway. How much will I have to pay to make you watch the Discovery Channel on stream and bully all the predators?
What?
That's
To do
literally
what?
they said.
I didn't hear it.
Watch the Discovery Channel on stream and bully all the predators.
What do you mean, bully the predators?
I don't know, yell at the lions?
I have no idea what that means.
What advice do we have for new parents?
I don't know. Don't kill the baby.
This is the guy who is having a baby in a month. Do you have
I get it.
anything for a new dad?
Yeah, don't kill the baby. That is my advice.
That's
Keep
all
the
you
baby
have?
alive. That is your goal. If the baby is alive, you're doing well. Don't shake the baby. Don't hurt the baby. Protect the baby.
In the end, that literally is good advice. Like, if the baby is alive...
If the baby's healthy, it's happy.
You're doing fine.
So you're doing good. Keep the baby alive. That's literally my
Especially,
advice.
the first, 3 months, that is your goal. And if you're doing that, everything else is gravy.
Just keep the baby alive. Stop sniffling. You've started, and that's like the 7th sniffle in a row.
I gotta get my allergy medicine.
I heard him starting. I was letting a few slide, but I was like, nope, you're getting carried away. You're getting greedy. Greedy with the sniffles.
Oh, Sophie said it's for the drama. I think it's the fact that there's no privacy between me and my best friend, so if I say anything about the other one, they constantly tell them.
Well, I have a general rule in life, so this might help you. I will never say anything about someone that I wouldn't say to their face. Period. You should live by that rule. It'll save you a lot of hassle. Like, if you wouldn't want the person you're talking about to hear what you're saying, don't fucking say it. That's a really easy rule. Like, one of the reasons you don't see a bunch of diss tracks on me in this underground rap scene where everyone loves dissing each other, it's not because people are afraid to diss my ass. It's because most disses come from people saying one thing and doing another thing or some of that shit, and that doesn't exist around me. Because whatever I say in front of you or in a DM or anywhere else is the same. And that's how you should do it. So, you're bringing some of that drama on yourself if it's being caused because you're saying shit about one of them while the other one's not around. That's on you. They have every right to share everything in their relationship. They're in a relationship. You don't get to control that. So don't talk shit.
Emailed Anthrax says, does it seem like Lee Skeem lacks a moral compass? No, he doesn't lack a moral compass. He has his own set of morals, and that there are reasons for those morals. They're not just like, well, this is the way I am or anything, or what I think is right. There's reasons behind that. So no, he has a moral compass. It's just that his moral compass doesn't always align with mine, and I'm not very good at persuading. Chicken a la king is a cream sauce with peas, carrots, shredded chicken over waffles.
Just give me chicken and waffles instead. Call it a day. That sounds like a gross version of chicken and waffles.
So, we had a few people go to sleep, so good night.
Good
to
night,
those people.
sleepy people.
I may go to sleep here soon.
Oh man, then I have to start reading the chat and sucking at the
It's
game.
after midnight.
I know, and you'll be up early with whiskey.
Exactly, so... What's the weirdest place you've ever been?
I don't know.
Here, right now.
This moment. Here. I really wish I knew where I was supposed to go in this ghost house. Maybe if I look around... What is hiding? Aha! That's what's hiding.
Or it said we need a "Don't Shake the Baby" on a t-shirt.
I don't feel like you need a t-shirt. Just don't shake the fucking baby.
Scooter said maybe don't click the P-switch.
No, I'm already past that part. I solved it with clicking the P switch. Not sure what we're doing here. It's just a fun little room.
Why no butt stuff?
What do you mean no butt stuff? Shit.
I mean, we had some butt stuff earlier in the stream. We talked about dicks and stuff.
No idea what we're talking about.
Sophie said, I don't say anything that I won't say to her face. I don't know, I just miss being able to confide in my best friend without worrying about her telling someone else.
Well, that's gone.
Yeah.
They're in a relationship. That's gone.
I mean, Skeem and I tell him everything that concerns him.
Yep.
And I think he does the same, vice versa.
Yep.
So,
It's part of having friends who have relationships.
I mean, granted, I think in a dating relationship, that should probably look differently than it does.
But that's up to
marriage
each person who's
relationship.
dating.
Well, yeah.
So, you'd like it to look different, it doesn't mean that it will.
I know. I just said I think. I didn't say it should be. What movie never gets old watching? Princess Bride. That's mine.
That's yours.
Well, Much Ado About Nothing, and nobody knows.
Ugh. Barf.
Do you have one?
Step Brothers.
True.
Dumb and Dumber. I don't ever get sick of. Just those stupid comedies.
Did you see the PS5 controller?
You mean the Xbox controller with the PlayStation skin on it?
Pretty
That
much.
one? Yeah, I saw it. It's about time to make an Xbox controller for PlayStation, because Xbox has had a far superior controller for far too long. You don't see people making bootleg versions of a PlayStation controller to play on Xbox or their PC, do you? No. But you see bootleg versions of Xbox controllers on PS4 and the computer all the time. It's a better controller. PlayStation's trying to wisen up.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how much of a wuss is he?
Oh yeah, Mario time.
I guess we'll just break the scale at 100. What a bitch.
Alright. Emailed Anthrax says, does Skeem have 1,000 projects that he starts and has trouble finishing a lot of them? That's the first part. And then, do I have an easy time finishing but a hard time starting things?
No on really all of that. Some projects I'll start and not finish, others I will. It depends on my interest level in the project. So I don't have an issue starting and not finishing projects. It's situationally based. Mrs. Skeem, if she has a plan, she'll be fine, and she doesn't tend to have a procrastination or worry about starting projects. But yeah, if I have I don't have 1,000 projects going that I don't finish. There'll be projects I abandon because of disinterest in the project.
Or he just won't start them in the first place.
Well, because of disinterest in the project.
Exactly, baby-proofing.
But, yeah, because I don't have interest in the project.
Well, you should now, because he's...
Well, I do now, because he's getting mobile. But, no, I can be a procrastinator for certain things, extremely timely and planned out for others. It just depends what it is. There's no clear cut which way am I going to go on that. Sometimes procrastination is king. Sometimes I cancel projects. Other times I'm ahead of deadlines, ready to go. Just really, really depends.
If I have a deadline, I get it done early.
I get some things done early that have deadlines, other things not. I always get stuff done by a deadline regardless. Especially if it's a deadline given to me by someone else who I respect.
I don't know that you want to talk about this, but I'm going to ask you the question and you can invoke your Fifth Amendment right. What are your thoughts on the riots and people acting stupid?
That's a weirdly framed question. I don't know. I mean, rioting is a bad reaction, but the emotion behind it is pretty well justified at this point. The lack of action against this stuff. You've heard me talk some trash against guys like Ben Shapiro, who I think has intelligence, but also a lot of dumb stuff. Anyone on an extreme far right or far left is going to irk me at some point and earn my distaste. So something Ben Shapiro famously says a lot is when it comes to racism and stuff, if it's systemic or systematic, show me the institution, right? Show me where it is and I'll help fight it. And I always hear that and go, okay, what about the police force? Most every police chief will admit that there's a problem with racism within the police force. The cause is always up for debate. Is it because minorities in the area commit more crimes, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that the police force themselves debate is what causes the racism and the profiling, not whether or not it exists. That in itself is essentially an institutionalized problem, and the fix is not gutting or changing something. The fix is literally when shit like this happens, prosecute the cop like a normal citizen would be prosecuted. If you do that consistently, the racist pricks will stop doing what they're doing, or they'll stop being cops because they'll realize everyone goes to jail for this shit. So by allowing this shit to go by, where someone is clearly just murdered on video, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yeah, rioting and stuff is a dumb response, but at this point, what else are they supposed to do? This shit's been happening forever. It's been admitted that it's happening forever. And you got people on the right saying, well, show me the organized racism. Fuck, bitch, it's in the police force. Everyone knows it. Everyone's known it for years. It's never been denied. The only denial is what causes it. Police brutality is an issue for people of all races, mind you. But these cops will keep being brutal against everyone, specifically minorities, but literally everyone, until they're actually punished. And I don't know what robbing Target's gonna do about it, but at least I can empathize with the idea that what the fuck else are we gonna do at this point aside from break enough shit until something changes, since nothing else has changed it. So, as a moderate, I always am gonna see both sides to this shit. And this is a tricky one, but it's just fucked up.
Yeah, I guess, as far as, the rioting or looting goes, I am completely for, protesting things that happen. But the response has to be, I don't know, similar. Not similar, I can't think of the word.
For similar, they'd be going out and killing cops.
It's after midnight, but it has to be equivalent, I guess, to...
I don't want it to be equivalent, then they're killing cops.
I can't think of a freaking word, but I'm just saying related, whatever. So,
I don't know what you're
Robbing
trying to say.
Target doesn't affect what you're protesting. All it does is it gives everybody you're protesting against ammo against.
Well, no, I get that. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just
what they're doing is
out, like,
stupid.
this is like the stupidity of it.
Yeah, but it's again also, yeah, it's a stupid response, but you're also pushing people to an extreme threshold of, well, what the fuck else are they gonna do aside from start to break shit? Like, there's gotta be a breaking point. They should be more organized with it. Honestly...
But all you're doing is just confirming people's biases against you.
Yeah, but let's think about the logical alternative. It would literally be raiding police stations and killing cops.
No.
Which would actually be
I
a more
understand.
admirable one-for-one response, eye-for-an-eye response. Not that all cops are responsible, but if you went, like, directly for the police chief in this instance, who knows about, like, the dozens of cases against this cop of complaints that went ignored, and you went and murdered him, that would be like, okay, that makes sense. So, when the alternative to that is looting Target, I'm gonna say looting Target's not that bad. It's stupid, but considering the alternative is literally trying physical harm against the people responsible for this, it's stupid. It's not gonna get your point across. I'm just saying I understand why. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing. I get why.
I don't understand why. Like, where's the bridge?
The bridge is a blind rage, justified blind rage, and applying it to something. That's the bridge. And applying it to something while not wanting to, like, go off murdering people.
Like, I guess in my mind, because I am so based in logic and how I make decisions and things, I just can't. I understand the emotion, but I still can't get that bridge to this happened, let's blow shit up.
Well, that's not how it works. What happens is people are extremely enraged, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds, and they're together, and they're getting pissed, and cops are coming with riot gear, and they start to mace people in the street who weren't doing anything yet. And in response, everything gets crazier and crazier, and then you get a few people who are just like, fuck it. There's no laws now, I'm gonna steal this TV, and most people aren't doing that. Most of the other people are still in the streets, getting maced or breaks. It's not like someone just says, I'm gonna start a riot. It's the shit builds, and then all you see on the news is the result, not what built to it. Like, things can get out of control real quick. Especially if situations are handled poorly.
I'm, like, very curious, like, how many of these people are just taking advantage of the situation.
Well, how many of these things are more or less manipulatively staged as well?
Yeah.
You have to look at the media outlets that are
And those
focusing on these stories are usually the very right-wing media outlets to try to say, see, there's no actual problem. It's just these crazy people are so out of control. Look at how they loot Target for no reason. Like, that's more likely what we're seeing, is good old media manipulation, as like we always see.
And there's actually been proven instances of media conglomerates hiring
protesters, hiring rioters. It is not unusual. So I don't even know how much I believe that people are just randomly rioting and stealing shit from Target. Like, I don't know, bro. Maybe they are, and if they are, I get why, but hashtag doubt that it's that simple. It looks like a good way for folks who are not necessarily racist themselves, but want to deny that racism exists because that makes them feel better. It seems like that kind of propaganda. I don't think racism is as severe as some people on the left claim, But people who deny that it's a thing, I'm like, how do you think that? I've experienced racism in my life. Like, it exists. And there's not a lot of it that's like organized or institutionalized. Like, some people act like everything's institutionalized against race, and that's why you can't be successful if you're a certain race. That's a whole load of shit. But are cops more likely to be racist against certain minorities? Absolutely. Why is that? I don't know. It's a lot of reasons. They've seen some shit. Gangs are usually run by minorities. But guess what? That shit that builds, now they look at a black man and they see them as a threat or something they're afraid of. And maybe they don't hate black people, but they clearly are prejudging black people. And that's an issue. So unless there's like better training and better punishment, this shit keeps going in what is literally an institutionalized version of racism. That's literally what it is. And people who try to deny that, I'm like, no, that's what it is. It's in front of you. It's ugly, it's uncomfortable, but it's true, and it's bad.
I mean, so I'm from Fort Wayne, and they have had protests the last 2 days regarding George Floyd, and both days the police have shown up to a peaceful protest where they
sprayed people, right?
Yeah, they were just, I think they were blocking traffic or something, but like the cops didn't, like there's video, they were never asked to move or anything like that. Like the cops just came in and started spraying tear gas.
It's because there's plenty of good cops, but there's so many cops with power trips. We all know this. And their power is being threatened. This idea that if you do shit, you're going to be held responsible like a civilian is a major issue for some cops. And these are the cops that we need to get rid of. And the way we get rid of them is by saying we don't care if it's an issue. Police brutality against anyone is unacceptable. And if you do that shit, you're going to jail. And guess what? Cops don't do that well in jail. So good luck, fucker. You want the badge, then your level of responsibility is higher than any civilians because you have more power, you have more authority, and you could kill people. And you need to be held responsible for that shit. Protecting cops in, like, a court of law is the biggest corruption we have. Stop protecting fucking cops. Like, this hurts good cops, protecting the bad cops. Put them away when they do this shit.
Dragon Rat says, my issue is the almost pure focus on race. My view is that this shit shouldn't be happening, period, regardless of race.
Well, that's true, but since it happens so disproportionately to certain races, you can't just ignore race. It's a factor. It is a factor. I agree with you that these cops that do excessive force against minorities and kill minorities probably would do the same to whites or their same race, and that's not gonna make the news because the news is fucking tilted and wants to cause, you know, stuff that gets them money, which racism gets them more money than just non-racist issues. But just because those cops are brutal against anyone doesn't mean they don't have racist undertones, and it doesn't mean that race isn't an issue here, because it is. I think focusing on race is just clickbait for money, but it's also, just because that's the case in the media doesn't make it an untrue happening, unfortunately. When I used to go to a lot of the freestyle battles in Long Beach, most people there were black or Mexican. And even despite the fact that they're like, nope, like I used to ride with my boy Ezra.
Yay!
And I can't tell you how many times cops would like wonder if I was in duress because I look like a white guy, even though I'm Hispanic, with this big black guy. And it wouldn't just be like checking on my safety, which could be understandable in that neighborhood, and that's not really racism. No, instead, when they would realize we were just cool with each other, a lot of the times they would continue to antagonize my boy to see if he would do something that would give them a reason to put cuffs on the man. That shit happens all the time because they've seen whatever they've seen, and this is the way they've decided things should go, and it's fucked up. it is something that's real. I think it's overblown a lot of times, but in this situation, it is being described as exactly what it is, and shit should stop.
He said, "Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't happen disproportionately to ethnic minorities, just dislike the focus on being on race rather than the fact it's happening to humans."
Well, I understand that, but I often think that viewpoint is more made to make yourself feel better than to work in reality, because it feels a lot better to say, look, it's happening to everyone, so let's deal with the problem of human life. That feels good. What doesn't feel good is to have to admit that it disproportionately happens to a certain race, because for some people who have power, racism isn't a past tense thing, which is very alarming. And I don't think this goes away if it's dealt just on a humanistic level, because then there's different ways to manipulate it. If you allow race to still exist in the conversation, it scares the right people away from those positions of powers as police officers if they realize that they will be punished greatly for crimes that are race motivated. But I could see what you're saying. I just don't think... I think there's an added benefit to recognizing that race is an issue, since it is, and there's not an added benefit to denying race is an issue and only focusing on the humanistic part of it. I don't see the benefit to that, because I think when you're talking about race, you're also at the same time going to solve the humanistic problem, whereas if you only solve the humanistic problem, you might miss the race problem. So that's where I would disagree on that. I think there is a reason to focus on the race in this instance. In most other instances where race comes up, not so much. Police brutality, specifically police brutality, I think a focus on race is appropriate. I think Mrs. Skeem's gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Mrs. Skeem wants me to go to bed, but I'm not tired.
Let's go.
Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years? Probably 10 minutes. That's more useful more often. Because then you could just, like, play around with different decisions. 150 years, I'm like, well... I mean, that's neat, but not useful for right now. Everybody say goodnight to Mrs. Skeem.
Good night.
Oops. No! Okay, good. Dealing with the humanistic side only is what I mean won't help. Because if you just say, the police are too brutal, so stop being brutal, that might help. But if you don't address racist cops, there's other things cops could do to fuck with you besides beating your ass. And that's the shit I've seen a lot. So if you just deal with that, then yeah, you'll get rid of cops, or at least stop cops from killing people But you won't stop the fuckers that are just, like, being bullies against people who are minorities. So, if all you focus on is cops treating people better rather than not specific races better, you won't solve every issue. Because it goes deeper than that. That's what I mean by that. That's a good question. Between moving things with your mind or reading minds, both of those could be used in great ways. Probably just move stuff with my mind. I'll let people keep their thoughts to themselves. I know there's a lot of power manipulation you could get out of that. So I don't know. If you ask me tomorrow, I'll probably give you a different answer. Depends what evil plots I have at that time as to which power I would get. Because you know I would use my powers for evil. Well, to my own benefit. So that would be good for some and evil for others. But always good for me. That's the Deadpool way. Oh no! Shit! Damn snaky guy. And dead.
Oh, it's a good time.
Doctor Who or Doc Brown? I mean, Doctor Who clearly has a lot more going for him. So, Doctor Who. Oh god, we just quoted Taylor Swift in here. Rough. X-ray vision or flight? Flight? I mean, X-ray vision doesn't seem extremely useful in most situations. I guess the only... Like what, are you just gonna look at a bunch of naked ladies all day? See through walls to know what the heck is on the other side for some reason? Like, it doesn't seem super useful compared to flight. I can't think of a bunch of times where I was like, man, if only I could see through this wall, everything would be so much better. But I can think of plenty of times where I've been like, huh, if I could fly, that'd be pretty cool. Lies! Lies! Won't believe a word of your fuck! Lost it as soon as I got it. I was weak. It's a challenging Mario game, by the way. I appreciate that. There's been a lot of modern Mario games, shit, that have just been very easy. And this Mario game does not fall under that trap. And for that, Mario, I thank you. I appreciate a challenge. Oh, fuck! I mean, I appreciate the challenge. It means I'm gonna die a lot, but I still enjoy the challenge.
Oh. It's a good time.
Some weird reasons to want X-ray in the chat. Shit! I'm pretty sure you can make more money by being able to fly than you can by replacing an X-ray machine. Fuck, you just go to America's Got Talent, label yourself as a magician, and do your flying act. You're gonna win $1 million, so no one's gonna figure that shit out. And there you go. And then you just make a whole career out of it. You're the flying guy in Vegas. Everyone tries to figure out how the hell you do it for the rest of your days. And then when you're old and dying, and you're like, I'm finally gonna reveal how I do this trick. And then you go, I could just fly, bitches. And everyone's like, what the fuck? You're like, yeah, I literally can fly. Haven't you seen me do it for my entire career? It's just the epic baller move right there. Alright, what are you doing to this boy? Oh, you made him bigger. He looks friendly. Oh shit. He sounds like an angry little Richard Nixon guy.
Mario number 1! Woohoo!
Have another 10 years with your partner or one night stand with your celebrity crush. Pretty sure I'd rather the 10 years with my partner. That seems pretty easy. You can't buy the power of flight. Like, otherwise there'd be a bunch of people flying around right now.
Go time!
Look, if you're dedicated to the troll, no one's gonna find out that you could fly legit until you want them to. It's all about being dedicated to the troll. Well, my internet history is not that bad, so I'd rather you be in my internet history than my thoughts. That's an easy one. Like, if you got an internet history that's so bad that you'd rather people be able to read your thoughts, you gotta think about that damn internet history. I don't know what could be in there. Because if they could read your thoughts, won't they fucking know your internet history anyway? Like, have you thought this through? Like, they could just read your thoughts. Not only do they know your internet history if it's that detestable, but they know the things you wish you found on the internet the last time you were searching that you didn't. All the detestable things that weren't there, that you were looking for. I don't think you have thought through that question. Future or minds? It depends on how you define reading the future. Because that's a tricky one. But, depending on the rules of predicting the future, Since I could very easily win the lottery and get like billions of dollars that way really quick, and then I don't have to deal with knowing what everyone's thinking all the time, probably predict the future. But it also depends on, like, do I have control of turning it off and back on again? Like, there's a lot of factors there. Hello, Jacob. I don't know where this ghost house wants me to go. I'm probably going to be ending the stream pretty soon here. Especially if I can't figure out this fucking boo house. Oh, come on. This week. Aha. Always a sad time, Scooter Looter, but the time must come.
This way.
Alright, I think that's going to be about it for tonight. This is a very long Mario game. I appreciate that. I don't know where we're at in the game. I kind of jumped from world to world for a second there, but I just noticed the Van Gogh artwork on that land. That's cool. I should have appreciated that sooner. Alright, so let's all appreciate the Van Gogh here. We're gonna go to bed now. So until next time, I scheme, you scheme, we all scheme for ice cream. Goodbye.